Mera, Queen of Atlantis, #1. Dan Abnett writing, Len Medina on the art. This is, directly spinning out of the main book because we left the last issue of Aquaman where he gets her back up to the shore. It's like, okay, you're going to be the Queen of Atlantis, but you're still ill from all that stuff with the magic and the thorns. You still can't breathe underwater. You will heal. You'll go back to being full strength, but it's going to take time. So you're surface bound until then. And he's going back to fight Wrath. So that's going to be the main Aquaman book. Presumably the next arc in Aquaman is going to be Aquaman dealing with Wrath and fighting for Atlantis down there. Whereas Mira's got her own book for a minute, 6 issues up on the surface, doing her thing. And it also, I don't know if I say surprisingly, but unexpectedly brings in an Orm, Ocean Master.
Hey, go back to last week where I brought in, hey, what's Orm been up to? It'd be cool if they touched on that soon. And then I opened this book, and they're in Louisiana, which is the last time I remember Orm being brought up was post Forever Evil. I think it was in that. When he had escaped.
You're probably right. I mean, I did read that stuff, but the last time I really remember was obviously during the Atlantis Justice League crossover, all that.
Yeah. So
what do we call it?
He escaped. Where do they keep the Suicide Squad? Belle Reve.
Yeah.
He had escaped the swamp of Belle Reve and is living somewhere in Louisiana, and we catch back up with him, and he's adapted to surface life.
He's got a soon-to-be wife, and he's got a step-kid who he's looking after.
Calling him dad.
And he's all excited. He's happy to have the home life, and he's hearing the news in the background, what's going on. Like the surface world's kind of worried. Oh, the Atlantis are having some kind of war. What if it spills onto our countries and stuff? And he's kind of like he's being distracted. You see that he generally has a thing for his wife to be. I mean, I don't know if they're actually married. He just says that they're talking about marriage, but they're living a domestic life. He seems to be living there. They're completely, living together. Living as a couple, and. So we go away from that, and then we go to Mira's plot, and then we come back at the end, and we have that thing at the end where you see the reflection in the mirror as the Ocean Master outfit, and he's like, oh, like, I want to stay here, but it's time to go. I'm curious to see if they actually do something here with Ocean Master where they really give a bit more depth, where I really I'll feel the tragedy of like, no, just stay with the family because you were happy and you weren't causing trouble. Let's go back to that.
Yeah, well, because I kind of got that in Johns' run with him, as when they kind of reestablished him, is he wasn't so much a bad guy as much as he was trying to do what was right for Atlantis.
Yeah.
Because that's where he was raised, and then you had Volko, who didn't believe he should be on the throne, kind of manipulate the events of Atlantis. So what was that called? Was it just War with Atlantis?
Maybe I can't remember.
The Atlantis War? I can't remember, but so he was never like an out and out just straight up bad guy, which I always kind of like when they do that. So here, like Pete said, you feel that tragedy. Like if he leaves his family, and where does that put him now with Mera, who's set to be queen?
Yeah. Did Connor not read this? He's been very quiet.
I gave up 6 pages in. I thought it was awful. I thought it was a slog to read. I was reading this, all the caption boxes. That it was just like, oh no, this is not working for me at all. I thought I got through the Orm stuff. I was like, okay. I thought, okay, maybe that's just what the style for this bit is. And then I read like 3 pages of the Mera stuff. I was like, no, I'm out. I can't do this.
I'll counter that with saying I actually quite like the third person narration.
Yeah, so did I.
Of it, and it was just awkward and clunky to me to read.
I disagree. There was a couple of moments where it went into like a flashback, and it felt a bit clunky there to me. But
I didn't get to that.
Generally speaking,
so
I like the third person kind of stuff.
I realize I don't enjoy her origin. Like I've come to like Mera from Abnett writing, because she was really a secondary character when Chance was writing the book. Like she was kind of just there, and we got that super strong scene in Blackest Night where it's like, I never wanted kids, and that's where she manifests the rage of the Red Lanterns and whatnot. But other than that, she was just kind of there. So I like that Abnett kind of turned her into this diplomat for Atlantis, because she's always been an outsider. She is from Zebel, but
I was going to say my favourite scenes of the issue with Mera were probably the one with Superman and Wonder Woman, where she's kind of like saying, hey, don't interfere, and like Tula's like, hey, she's sick, she's not at full strength. And I actually kind of like the fight as well with the eel.
With Eel.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty decent fight. But I also really liked the scene where she goes to the what was her position, the woman at the embassy or the government. She was like the secretary of something or other.
She was anyways, it was like Secretary of the State. She worked in the State Department.
So, something like that. But she obviously she was there in a sort of ambassador capacity talking to her.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that because it was talking about how she's like she feels uncomfortable being called Your Highness and she's not really like sure how to respond to that. And I did get a little chuckle when she says, "Oh yeah, like in Zebel, when we'd deal with something like this, we'd have a trial by combat to like have this debate." And the woman who's sitting there's like, "Well, I'm happy we're not doing that." And she's like, "Yeah, you're quite right. This is way more civil." Well, not just that. You would beat the crap out of me, so I'm happy we're not doing that. I would lose a lot. So there was a little bit of humour in there. I don't think it was as. I don't think it flowed as well as what the recent Aquaman book's been doing.
No.
I would definitely say that. But I actually do kind of like the third-person narration. I thought it gave it a different kind of tone than the main book.
Yeah. Yeah, set it apart. I like that.
Yeah. No,
I thought it was a fun read. Like, I helps that I'm really enjoying the goings-on of Aquaman right now. So, but, I see Connor had put the cover on as his phone wallpaper, so I thought, oh, man, he really enjoyed this. And I was like, oh, no, I just really like the art.
The variant cover is rather pretty.
The agile one. This is the thing. I'm not against third-person narration. I've seen it before. I've enjoyed it. I just felt there's so much of it here. It just throws it at me, and it's like it just felt like a slog. I was like, nah, I'm not reading this.
No, I was fine with it. I don't think it was a great issue. I thought it was solid enough. I liked the arm stuff. I liked a lot of Mera's stuff. I did think the flashbacks to like her training and like just sort of like recounting some of her origin were a little bit clunky, but.
I don't care about the Zebel assassin thing.
Yeah, we're kind of past that at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. So, now I'm curious to see what this is actually going to be doing over the next... Obviously, Orm's going to be a factor. I mean, that's why they're setting them up here in the first issue. But
I assume, it's 6 issues. I assume this next arc of Aquaman, where he's up against Wrath, is going to be 6 issues as well.
Yeah,
so they'll end at roughly the same time, so they'll come back together into the main book, after that arc.
Yeah, I would expect so, yeah. So, hey... I could even see Aquaman being 5 issues, and then like the conflict ends before the final Mera issue, and then like,
Well, I mean, because Mera is out before that arc starts, assuming the schedule stays exactly the same as it is now. You could have the 5th issue of that, then the final issue of Mera, and then the last issue of Aquaman. So that would still tie up. So you could have it, So you could have it work that way with the schedule that way now.
It just depends how many issues that arc is. We don't know off the top of our head. So that was Mera. It was decent. I'm going to keep reading it. I feel like it's a nice companion to the main book. So
me too.